The STB-1 is a Japanese Tier 10 medium tank. In the early 1960s, Mitsubishi started development of a new tank that complied with government requirements for armament and defense. The first two prototypes of the STB-1 were manufactured in September 1969 for trials. In 1970 the prototypes were shown to journalists and participated in a military parade. The STB-1 is a prototype of well-known Japanese Type 74 main battle tank. It marks the end of the Japanese medium tank line. It is a fast semi-accurate medium tank with low but well-sloped armor, very high DPM and high penetration, making it excel as a support tank. In patch 1.5.1, the STB-1 received a much-requested special feature, the hydropneumatic suspension system, which was previously exclusive to the Swedish high-tier mediums. This allows the STB-1 to use nearly any hull-down position in the game. Performance. The STB-1 is similar to the previous tanks in the line, with the exception that it now has much better turret armor than the tanks before it. It can reliably hold down unlike its predecessors due to a much-needed increase in turret armor. While the STB-1 no longer has the highest DPM the Tier 10 medium tanks, having given up that spot to the K-91, it still remains a significant threat on the battlefield, with a blistering rate of fire rivaling that of the 100mm armed Tier 10 Soviet mediums. The STB-1's excellent rate of fire combined with a reasonable 360 alpha damage allows the STB-1 to permatrack most opponents, allowing one to farm free damage at little to no risk to themselves. In addition to its excellent gun, in patch 1.5.1 the STB-1 received the hydropneumatic suspension system along with buffs to the turret armoring, allowing it to take advantage of almost any hull-down position. With its 14 degrees of gun depression when using its hydropneumatic suspension to the fullest, the STB-1 currently possesses the highest gun depression of any Tier 10 tank. However, one should keep in mind that the hydropneumatic suspension is only capable of tilting the tank's hull up and down and not side to side, meaning that when aiming to the sides you will only be able to use the 8 degrees of gun depression provided by the turret. The tank itself is very small and as a result has a good camouflage factor and is also relatively mobile. While its camouflage and mobility are not on the levels of a Soviet medium such as the T-62A, they are still above average for their class. When exposing the STB-1 to enemy fire, one should keep in mind that the driver is often killed by penetrations to the front hull, and also that the ammo rack sits beside the driver at the front of the tank as well. However, while it is a menace at medium to close range when hull down, the STB-1 performs poorly at long range. With its relatively low shell velocity, 1,185 meters per second, and accuracy, hitting fast-moving targets or weak points at long range is a challenge. Last to note, while the turret is strong frontally, it has a relatively large cupola and is not impervious to high-penetration premium rounds. While it can reliably bounce standard rounds from Tier 10 medium tanks, premium rounds, and Tier 10 tank destroyers can pen the flatter parts of the turret face occasionally if aimed carefully. Use your agility and rock back and forth to make your cupola and weaker areas of your turret harder to hit, and avoid relying on the turret armor to deflect a well-aimed shot from a Tier 10 tank destroyer.